everyone, it is Crystal with Pineapple Papers, and I am back with my How to Kill a Kit with Style, my July kit. This is the last video. I know it's coming up a little late since it's already August, but I really enjoyed the video, and I actually got a comment on my Instagram about one of the techniques, so I thought it was pretty important to get it up. So I have had this garland, and it comes with 2 yards, which is a ton of garland. Like, how many pages could that go on? Like a zillion. So I was bound and determined to use what I had left on this layout, and I have seen in the past kind of some clothes hanger ideas, and I thought, well, that would be cute to do. I'll just take it across this entire piece of paper. Originally, this paper it almost has a really faint, like, cross stitch look, and I really had plans on stitching it, but it just was a perfect background for this garland, so I didn't end up doing that. So I'm probably gonna have to talk to Christina about getting me some paper to stitch, because I'm really kind of getting into the hand stitching on the paper. I love my machine stitching. I love the texture that it gets, but hand stitching is like a whole new level. But it takes forever, but it is worth it in the end. So I'm channeling my grandma, who was like an amazing seamstress. So now that I have the garland down, I grab my 2 pictures, and the picture on the top is me with Mooney Falls in the background, and the picture on the bottom is my son and my husband with Mooney Falls in the background, and they're selfies, and I thought they were funny because both selfies, like, we've cut our faces off. And this wasn't actually the picture of my son and husband that I wanted to use, but I couldn't find the other one. I couldn't find it at all. I have since found it, and it's not the right size, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, because I actually have scrapbooked this picture of them before, and not that I mind having, you know, the same picture scrapbooked again, but I feel like I wanted the other one. So I'm going to have to look into seeing if I can kind of swap them out. So we'll see. That hasn't been done yet. And honestly, the page is done, so it will probably stay this way. So I have the 2 pictures, and I know I want to nestle them kind of in the garland, and I needed them to pop off the page, but not literally, because I do tend to use a lot of foam, but it would look funny. It would have to sit on top of the garland, and I really wanted to kind of nestle it in the garland. So I just took one of the 6x6 papers that I had left from my kit, and then 1 scrap, and just backed them. Now, I have a couple of these cut aparts from the Journey collection, and it was like an acetate sheet, and I just cut the whole thing apart when I started my kit. So these are 3 tags that are left. One is just a pretty chevron gold. One says "Let's Go Exploring," which we were, so that was very fitting. And one says "Happy," and I'm going to use that "Happy" as the jumping off point for my title. And then I had 1 wood veneer piece left, and it was "Travel." So I was like, oh, that's pretty good. "Happy Travel." That seems like an appropriate title. So since I added that wood veneer piece to the right hand side, I decided, okay, I need to look and see what other wood veneer piece type things that I can get on there. So I have these clips from Freckled Fawn, and I pull out the sun, and I think that I'm going to add that journaling card down there on the bottom to do some journaling about our adventure, but I don't, because you can kind of see that it's kind of making its way into that acetate tag, and so it just kind of cut it off to me. So I don't really like how that works. And I didn't have intentions of leaving it as a butterfly. I was going to cover it up anyway. So when I look at this page right now, really all I'm seeing is that journaling box, and I just don't really like it. So it will be coming off. So while I was rambling on about a journaling card, I had one piece left of this wood veneer sheet that I had got from Hobby Lobby. It just said hi, so I decided that my title was going to be Hi, Happy Travel. And that top piece that says your smile is sweet is from, it was just from that My Mind's Eye package, and I think I only have one more left. So my plan is to just put that in my extra bin and hopefully get that used up. I did add a couple of, I guess technically they're more like enamel dots now. They were brads, but I just pulled the epoxy piece off and stuck them on the top and on the bottom. And I felt like I needed a little more gold, and so that's why I am having that rainbow over there. And then the bottom chipboard piece is also from that My Mind's Eye collection, and it says I love to travel. So very travel-y themed page here, which makes sense because we were traveling. I do use my fine line bottle a ton after I started watching YouTube videos, and I have the Scotch Tacky glue in it, and I haven't had a problem with it. I actually do really like it. So, and I buy mine at Joann's with a 40% off coupon, and it's not very expensive at all. So this was my last piece, this little rainbow from that mirrored something from Pink Fresh Studio. So I'm looking at this page and I feel like there's this huge gap at the top and this huge gap at the bottom. And I don't mind white space, but occasionally, okay, so most of the time I over embellish. So a chunk of white space is really hard for me. So I decided that I had this die cut and I was going to cut it so it was flat, and then I just tore down the page and rolled it as I tore it. And you can kind of see that, and then push it down. And I'm just opening it up enough so that you can see that die cut at the top that says Love to Travel. So I will tape that down, and I will do the exact same thing to the bottom left-hand corner with that little leftover piece that I cut off from that one. And that is pretty much going to do it. The only thing that I think maybe I could have added was some splatters, which I might go back and do, but probably not again. I feel like once the page is done, unless I hate it, I kind of just leave it the way it is. So I do have some close-ups coming up for you, and I hope you enjoyed this process. I hope you are playing along and have checked out the Rediscover Your Stash Facebook page. And if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. And remember to wear your crown. We'll see you next time. Bye!